topic, Rosetta Stone, and video length, I hope not more than half an hour. Okay? All right. In the meantime, time to clean the desk. Yep. And so, what is Rosetta Stone? Rosetta Stone is the working title for an AD&D variant. Actually, by now it can't even be called AD&D anymore. It is a different game, you know, just like Dungeons and Dragons from the 1970s was a different game than Advanced Dungeons and Dragons in the 1970s. And we see this, of course, in the 1980s again, where there's the Dungeons and Dragons game and the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons game. And back in the day, both were pretty cool, you know. Off the record, what I want to do is I want to, get a whole bunch of art from, the 1970s. Well, actually more 1980s. D&D, Holmes, BX, Beckme, yeah. And see if I can use that to illustrate the one you site, which is for AD&D. Anyway, so overview of Rosetta Stone. Hold on a second. Just looking over my shoulder. Okay, I'm going to send you guys a riddle. Where I live, the sun rises in the north and the sun rises in the west. Where am I? Okay. Yeah, that's true. My favorite band from Argentina is called Black Sky Giant. So that's the riddle for you guys. Desktop seems pretty clean. So the next step, coffee. In the required materials section for Rosetta Stone, it's just basically coffee. If you got a cup of coffee, you don't need anything else, right? Dice, meh, who needs them, yeah? All right. So now I'm gonna have to get some pencil and paper and an overview of Rosetta Stone. I don't know what else to call it. Basically, a lot of it is a simplification of AD&D, and a lot of it is actually an inversion or the opposite of the Gygaxian wisdom in first edition AD&D. Okay, so for example, yes, critical hits, okay, and spell points. There you go. There you go. And character creation is actually based on the NPC tables in the Dungeon Master's Guide. So of course this is a fan thing; it's not for money. But if it was for money, I would be phoning up Gary and phoning up David and saying, "Well, this is a different game, but you guys do deserve some money, because it's directly based on stuff that you guys did, Is this game better than the current edition? I don't know. don't ask me these difficult questions. It's a lot more affordable, yeah, and it's a lot more accessible in the sense that you guys know where I live, and I'm an easy guy to find, so you can track me down, yeah. As long as it's not Pinkerton at the door, then I'm fine with it, yeah. Ay. So next step, we're gonna need paper, pencil, dice. All right. And oh man, where did I put it? Okay, I see a 200-page graph paper, 8.5 by 11 notebook. Whoa, check this out, man. I see Dungeon Master's Guide. All right, and good old Men in Magic. That's a reprint, by the way. And illustrated. Hieroglyphics handbook. Oh wow, cool. Check this out, dude. While I'm looking for some graph paper. Yeah, this is the special edition of Unearthed Arcana, and some say that it's the best edition of all time for that particular book. Edition or printing? I think we used the word printing. Yeah. The Alchemist. And, well, I'm getting closer. All right. Note to self, don't lose those passwords. You're going to need them. Now there will be soon, I hope, a big upload of the 1EO site for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition. Okay, soon I hope. And I'm still looking around. I rolled up an AD&D character yesterday with a fresh notebook, and one of my players says that I have bad organizational skills. It's already been 5 minutes. The nature of this video is total improvisation, and it is actually about the time of the dawn where I live. And I thought, well, you know, symbolically, I guess, dawn, a good time to start something, you know. Anyway, I am not giving up. Let me see. Okay. No. Book 2, The Underworld, number 6. That's upstairs. Book 3, mostly empty. I can work with this one. Not a problem. Oh. No, it's got the color pink in it. No, I'm not going to use it. Look at it. Well, okay, there's red there, but there's pink as well, too. It's just not manly enough. It's not macho enough, you know? Where would we be without those female strength limits, yeah? So in some ways, Rosetta Stone is a kind of apology, you know, to the ladies for certain things. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to inverse it, see if that works. Hold on. Yard. Yeah, I can work with this. Nice. So, use this for table of contents. Go a few pages in. And have you ever read the books by Margaret St. Clair? She's mentioned in the Dungeon Master's Guide on page 224. And I've read a couple of her novels or novellas. And they take place on Mars, you know. And yes, I have been listening to my favorite band from Argentina, Black Sky Giant. All right. So, what I'm going to do for record keeping, I'm going to begin at exactly 10 minutes. Okay. So that gives me about 2 minutes, and I'm just doing time check here. 6:23. Yeah, I would love this, but that's going to have to wait for a bit. And you can't see it in detail, but this is actually an interview with Gary Gygax right at the time of the publication of the Dungeon Master's Guide. And it is a real eye-opener, I guess you could say. So if you want to read it, the HTML, well, it'll probably be a few months before this gets online. In the meantime, just go to Dragon number 28, and you'll find the interview. Okay. So, speaking of the Dungeon Master's Guide, character creation. Okay. We use the NPC tables for the PCs. Okay. If I can find them, I am literally kind of like half blind without my glasses, but that's okay. I'll find it with my sense of smell. Okay, scratch and sniff. This is so embarrassing, but that's all right. In the meantime, yeah, we're going to go into page 100, 101. Actually, 100, 101, and 102. Okay. And sometimes the physical book is a lot easier than the HTML, especially if you're blind like me, right? Or half blind. Mm-hmm. And so someone out there is like, well, why don't you put on your glasses? And I'm like, where did I put them, you know? Glasses, I don't see them around here. Anyway, the riddle about the rising of the sun, oh my gosh, it's 10 minutes. That's going to have to wait for a bit. Okay, we are at the 10-minute mark. First thing we do for Rosetta Stone is determine the ability scores, all right? And then step 2, we're going to use the NPC tables to detail this character. All right. So time to get, yes, 3d6 straight down the line. For 6 or 8 ability scores, it's really up to you. If you want to start simple, just go with 6. I like to go with 8 ability scores. All right, so these are base scores. I'll probably do a human cleric. All right. So another way of looking at Rosetta Stone is just a bunch of house rules. That's it. So then 13 for strength. Okay. And oh, 13, which is also the name of an album by Black Sabbath. Okay. For intelligence. For wisdom, I see a 12. Okay. And then a 13 for dexterity. That's right. These are actually very good rolls on the 3d6. With this one being pretty much average, I'm looking at an 8 for Constitution. And then 13 for Charisma. All right. I think, you know what, the best way, guys, is just go with 6 abilities, because that's going to be less confusing, okay? And one thing that Gary wrote about was that if the game is too complicated, then it is going to turn people away, you know? And he was writing about this in the Legendary Adventure book, the only one that I have. And if you see it, I highly recommend, you know, of course, pick it up if you can afford it. So that's a piece of game design wisdom right there. Okay. Some people will say that Rosetta Stone is dumbing down advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I guess that's true in a way. Let me see. 927. But in my situation, I have a limited time in more ways than one. So when it's a situation where you've got 4 hours on the weekend, you know, to play a game with your friends, and you guys want to cover a lot of ground, simplicity is a good thing. Now, I would rather be playing, you know, super advanced Dungeons and Dragons with 8-hour sessions, 7 days a week, you know, but that time has come and gone, you know. We're not, you know, 10, 11, 12 around there anymore, you know. Anyway, now I'm getting all, you know, wistful, is that the word? I don't know, man. Base scores, and you want a human cleric. In this method, you do not rearrange. And, yeah, you know what? To add anything else here, it would be complicating things. Okay, so we've got 6 ability scores, all right? And as you can tell, like I said before, I don't want to take all the credit for this, because basically what I'm doing is I'm just riffing off the stuff that Gary did in 1979, right? But I think it's a good introduction, I think, to old school fantasy role playing games, and hopefully it's kind of fun. Generation of ability scores. Okay, we're gonna skip that and go straight to the NPC page. Oh wow! Good morning. We're already here. Right on. Okay, so what? Human cleric. All right. According to the DMG, what that does, that gives us a +2 to wisdom, which now is 14. Now, what about the human characters? Well, all right. Humans, let's say that they get a +1 on 3 random abilities. Okay? So here we go. So I'm rolling 3d6, or I might as well do them one at a time to keep it simple. All right. So here we go. +1 to charisma. Wow, we got a 14 charisma here. And then the next is going to be a 3. Okay. And I'm using method 10, and the order of operations there is like, well, hold on a second. I don't know. Oh, well, lucky. We got a 3. So then that is a 15 for wisdom. And keep in mind, we're going to need 2 15s. We'll take care of that at the end of character generation. Okay? So then, one other ability, add another +1 to wisdom. That's right, charisma. So we have a charismatic and wise cleric. All right, next thing to do is to apply a class bonus. And you find this on page 100 of the DMG. All right? So, yeah, now my notepad is sweat stained. +2 to wisdom. Now I'm looking at 17 wisdom. All right, not too bad. Okay, so that is done. And the whole entire 215s thing. You know what? Maybe we should have done that in step 1. All right. So while this is a tutorial, it's also me at the same time checking and double checking and making sure that the game design is solid. Yeah, I would say. Hold on a second. Let's reverse engineer these scores and get them right. All right. So 13. Okay. 13 and 12. So when you're rolling up a character, don't use the eraser. Just do a diagonal line, because basically it's 3d6 with a whole bunch of modifiers added on. All right. So 13, 13, 12, 13, 8, and 15. Oh no, 13. So maybe it's just bad luck. I have a whole bunch of 13s, but then again, there are 13 moons to the year on planet Earth. Anyway, 13, 13, 12, check. 13, 8, 13, check. Okay, so here we're going to need 2 15s. What I would say, to be generous, in a way, find your 2 lowest ability scores, okay? Bump those up to 15. So from 8, that goes up to 15. That's a 7-point increase. That's pretty huge, okay? And then the other lowest score that we see here is a 12 wisdom, right? So this is going to go up to 15. And I'll warn you right now, every once in a while, you're going to have a character who eventually will have ability scores above 18, sometimes even above 19, okay? So that's just a note for the future. In the meantime, we've redone step number 1. And now the thing to do is to go to the DMG, all right? And let me see, the bonuses for being a human, +1 wisdom, okay? And this is, of course, randomly generated. +1 to 3 random abilities. So then 16, got it for wisdom so far, pretty good. And then next one would have been, I think, charisma twice. Okay, yeah. So that 13 goes up to 14, and then that 14 goes up to 15. All right. So those are our base scores that we're going to work with. Going now to page 100 of the DMG, you're going to use a class bonus. Cleric's get +2 to wisdom. So far so good. And 13, 13, okay, strength 13, intelligence 13, wisdom 18, dexterity 13, constitution 15, charisma 15, okay? That's a pretty good character, all right? So the method 10 generates fairly high ability scores sometimes. but we've just begun. Okay, so step 8, ability score is done for now. Then it's the process of just simply going through the tables in order. And first thing we get is random alignment. Okay. Now, if you have chosen a class with alignment restrictions, disregard this table. For paladin, of course, your paladin's lawful good, so you don't need to roll. All right. For a cleric, yeah. All right. For indicating that this character is neutral evil. Okay, well, I don't like playing evil characters, so what I'm going to do is I am going to change this character's alignment to neutral good. Okay, so that's a 2-step change. That's going to cost me 1,000 experience points to get to level 1. Everybody begins at level 0, right? So 1,000 for an alignment change. Okay, so I will note down here neutral good. All right, and so far the total, this character will need 1,500 XP to get to level 1. All right. Onwards we go. The next table, possessions or wealth. It's basically social class. Okay, so we roll a d10 here, and man, this character is lower class. Okay, the worst you can get. In other words, this character has no equipment at all. All right, so that sucks. uh, there might be a little bit of luck to bring in a couple items, but for now it's just like, oh yeah. Onwards we go. Age. This is important, and this is interesting too. Hold on. 4. This character is mature. In the human race, that would be about from 20 to 40. What that means in terms of ability scores, +1 to strength. Okay, so that 13 becomes a 14. And +1 to constitution, and I'm looking at it here right now. One moment. Okay, so 14 strength, constitution goes up to 16. That's nice. Okay, so the next thing to do is to keep on keeping on and keep what you roll. Okay, is sometimes it's like a tough break. You go have a character that is really not that great. So in Rosetta Stone, you can have up to 3 player characters. Okay, from a role playing perspective, there's no such thing as a useless character, but certain characters that you generate will not be the greatest fit for a dungeon environment, let's say. Okay, and of course the wilderness is still a deadly place. Right. Okay. I think that's enough on age for now. And then general appearance. Okay. Keep in mind that you can drop 1 negative personality or 1 negative characteristic every time you level up. Okay. So generally, let's see, this character is rough. Okay. So you just write down rough. Probably has tattoos and maybe a few scars, that kind of a thing. Excuse me. We forgot to do gender for this character. So, gender, let me see. I just usually just flip a d6. So 1 to 3 is male. All right. This character is female. All right. So human female cleric. Human female cleric, and the whole thing about starting at level 0. Honestly, this is not the greatest tutorial in the world, because what I'm doing, I haven't worked with the idea for a long time, is I'm basically designing as I go on. So we'll say everybody begins at level 1, no problem. That will I think get rid of a lot of confusion. But then again, if I do that, then how am I going to do the alignment changes and things like that? Yeah, no, I'll keep it level 0 right now. Okay, well, there's a reason for everything, I guess. Human female cleric. Okay, so in Rosetta Stone, the ladies, they get a -1 to strength, so that 14 goes down to 13. And they get a +1 constitution, so that 16 goes up to a 17. Okay. Regarding female strength limits, yeah, they're in place, but your character is considered to be exceptional. So that is kind of like the average for that character's race. You know, do we really need any more detail there? I don't think so. I think it's, good to go, I guess. And onwards, sanity. All right. 4, normal. Whenever you get a result of normal or average, something like that, you don't need to write anything down. It's just clutter, and you don't want that. On your character record sheet, traits, tables. Okay, so here we need to generate a number between 1 and 24, all right? To do that, I find a d12, okay? Give me a while to try and locate where it is. Oh, cool. I found some money. A dime, okay? That's a good example of the standard size for a coin. 100 coins to the pound, let's say. Ay. And where on earth is my d12? Well, I got one here. Aha, there we go. Hiding in the corner. And then we're going to need a d6 already on the table. All right. So 1 to 3 is +0, and 4 to 6 on this d6 is going to be +12. All right, so 1 plus 0. So we do d12 plus 0. Coming up with a pessimist. Okay, so she's a pessimist. What that means is that she heals at a slower rate. Positive, negative, positive material plane, negative material plane, that kind of thing. So, pest in ist. So basically, Rosetta Stone sucks. You suck. I suck. Everything sucks. Everything is bad. And, to all the people on Facebook and other forms of social media, life sucks, man. Everything is bad. Yeah. So there you go. And then we're going to go to the next table, which is, notice, I call it sociability. The character, how that character is in social situations. First, we're going to need a d8, okay? And 6, indicating that this character is an extrovert, okay? And 3, a friendly extrovert. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, friendly extrovert. So in this case, as a spell-like ability, this character can cast the Friends spell once per day. Now I'm looking at all the modifiers on page. Yeah. Page 102 of the Dungeon Master's Guide. That level of detail, where you're shifting things by a few percent here and there, is interesting. Okay. But it just might be a little bit too much for some people. But then again, let me think this through. Average 4.5, run up to 5. Let me see. Yeah. Like, I have no problem going through and doing all the fine detail work with the numbers and everything like that. But other people might, okay? So, how about, as a rule of thumb, for encounter actions, roll a d20, okay? And then take it from there in terms of role playing. Characteristics can be negative or positive, okay? So, we'll say pessimist, okay, that's -1, all right, and then friendly extrovert, all right, uh, that is a positive thing. So then +1, so that they cancel each other out. And at this point, I'm like, well, hold on a second. Um, I was thinking about calmness. I think maybe we can live without it. Um, or maybe make it part of charisma. And I've got to think that through, okay? What I'm doing here, where it's like I'm thinking out loud, I'm trying to find the simplest way to do things for people, okay? I want to be in the shoes of the new gamer, the new arrival to Rosetta Stone, so that things are really simple at the beginning, at least, and very user friendly. Okay, so friendly extrovert. There you go. And yes, sometimes your character will have very high ability score. Sometimes your character will have a spell-like ability. So in a way, Rosetta Stone can be kind of like medieval superheroes, and it's not as good as first edition AD&D, which can sustain a campaign for a long, long time. A campaign in Rosetta Stone, I can't see one going for more than a year. Okay, and now it's time for disposition. Okay, so 10. All right, D10. This character is easygoing, like me. All right, that's probably a positive thing. So another +1, and then easy going. Okay, and um, intellect. This one is interesting. So this affects the intelligence at least part. All right, we're gonna need a D10 here, and this character 9 is scheming. Okay. Now that scheming, I'll say is a +1 to the intelligence, so intelligence goes up to 14 now. All right, but it does have kind of like an evil connotation. All right, so uh, I will write 17. Or sorry, 14 intelligence on the same line. I'll write scheming. Okay, and that is +1 to evil point. Okay, so there's good points, evil points, law points, and chaos points. What that is basically the character alignment graph. Okay, they're guidelines in the true sense of the word, but yeah, even good people sometimes still have a little bit of evil in them, and vice versa. All right, so neutral good. We can note down here +1 E. All right. And those are guidelines for the game master to work with. All right, nature on a d6. 3, hard-hearted. Okay, so hardening of the arteries, and I'm just taking a look here. It's probably a negative thing in a social situation. So what I do is I roll. This is for the Slayer fans out there too. You know that song, hardening of the arteries. This one gives +1 uh, evil point, yeah. Sorry, and then a +1 law point. All right, and I'll just write down here hard-hearted. This character suffers from hardening of the arteries, basically, cardiovascular disease. Right. So this is a characteristic, hard-hearted, and it is obviously a negative uh, characteristic, and logically there should be a penalty to the Constitution. We're going to take that down to a 16 from a 17. So remember, always remember that when you level up, you can drop a negative characteristic. Okay. So here in this example, you start off at level 0, get to level 1. First thing you say is, okay, hard-hearted, no more, thanks. So then all you do is you just erase that, and you can't kind of like add on new characteristics as time goes by, because that would just be clutter. It would be too complicated. But yeah, you can drop one negative characteristic every time you level up. And I know I am superstitious sometimes. The thought of hardening of the arteries, it's pretty scary and horrific. Um, it's the last song on the album, or the first song, I don't remember. Slayer fans know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, out of superstition, I'm actually going to get myself a shot of brandy from the coffee. Okay. And guys, most of the '80s kids, we're getting on in years, so you got to take care of your heart, And note to self: try to smoke less. Yeah. Heart smart. And I truly don't give a fuck what other people think. Sometimes. When your health is on the line, you do whatever it takes to bring yourself back uh, into a state of good health, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Let me take a look at the time. 36 hours. This is okay. It's taking way too long. But that's all right. This is the first in an ongoing series. A human, female cleric. Someone think of a name, and we're going to get right back to the tables, okay? So, materialism. Let's do this. A D6. And this character is of average. So, again, average, normal, that kind of stuff. Don't write it down. Just keep on going to the next one, okay? There are no re-rolls, too, just so you know. Honesty. So let's see. This character is a liar. -1. Actually, hold on. It does not affect, let's say the talk score. Just write down liar. All right. And, how about this? We'll give the character one level in. Actually, you know what? Maybe just add on the classes or give. What is the most simple way? In Rosetta Stone, that's a perpetual question. What is the most simple way? And I'm thinking to myself, well, I could add on, a couple classes. One of them being assassin, the other one being illusionist, and then we have human that is got 3 classes, and I'm like, well, maybe give this character the abilities of a first level assassin and a first level illusionist. Okay, so this character transitioned from evil to good before the game began. So liar, and we'll say too, just to make this interesting, that the character is how do you say it? Something. I'm missing the word anyway. So yeah, we'll give this character level 1 assassin. Okay. So maybe this character trained as an assassin, and then she discovered that no, this is just not the life that she wants to live. You know, about to kill someone, and they're begging for their life and saying, spare me, I have a family, and still the job has to be done, that kind of thing. And it just didn't sit well with her, so she left that class, I guess you could say, and then maybe level 1 illusionist. Yeah. And for the illusionist, let me take a look, see here. Well, to be honest, she just was not smart enough and not agile enough to become an illusionist. Spellbook, all right, yeah. Her only possession, weighing 20 pounds, not what it is in Unearthed Arcana. So spellbook, and even the encumbrance system. We'll talk about that later. There's a simpler way to do that. Okay, so yeah, simple as simple does. What is it? A compulsive liar or something? We'll note this down. Um, so yeah, this is a negative um, characteristic. Let's take a look. I'm gonna hack the URL and go to the page for insanity. All right. Pathological liar. That's it. Okay. So this character literally is insane. Okay. So liar, and I'll just note here. Pathological liar. Okay. So in Rosetta Stone, there's a lot more influence or emphasis on talking instead of fighting. Okay. And I mean, it's a fun thing to role play. What you can do is you can say, of course, it's always when you level up liar, that's generally a negative characteristic, even though you got some assassin and illusionist abilities out of the deal. So, yeah, you can drop the liar thing when you level up, all right? And maybe it'll annoy the fuck out of the other players, but that's okay as long as it results in more fun uh, at the end of the day. Let's say. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go back. I wonder what meds you take for being a pathological liar. Yeah, being prescribed like a bottle of I don't know, gin or something like that, or anything 80 proof. Yeah. Do 26 shots a day. Mm. There you go. So we just discovered the cure for a mental illness, pathological liar. Mm. And now I think the pharmaceutical companies are out to kill me. Yeah, you know, not that I'm paranoid or anything like that, but you know, there was a cure for insanity, then they would lose so much money. You know, and there's actually mythological precedent for uh, insanity in some people being a temporary thing, you know, in others, you know, just perpetually crazy. But you know, like the story of Hercules, you know, it's actually a pretty dark story. Like he kills his own family, and then he's cursed by the gods or something like that, and so he has to go on 12 separate quests. And if I remember right, you know, he was crazy for a while, but then eventually he came back to sanity. You know, anyway, that's just an overly long footnote. Let's leave it at that. Okay, so now we got bravery to do. All right, and okay, normal. All right, we don't need to note anything down there. And energy. Another thing I should have said is that I'm thinking of the mysterious other half of the species. In other words, women. Okay, and the game is hopefully engineered to appeal more to the feminine psyche than, say, you know, the '70s D&D and AD&D. Okay, so you know, me and my insistence on using the female strength limits in first edition AD&D. Okay, as long as you're balanced, I hope. This is my way of saying sorry to the ladies. All right, because without the ladies, you know, where would we be? You know, maybe like a gay prison planet or something like that. And ladies are an essential aspect of fantasy as a genre. Regarding gay people too, hey, you guys are always welcome. You know, even though there's like a certain holy religion book thing that, you know, says that gays must be put to death, I don't believe in that shit. Okay, you know, that if you are gay, guess what? That's between you and God, or you and Goddess, or something like that. No big deal, man. Well, that's easy for me to say. You know, it's a very big struggle, I think, for young gay people to come out in society, especially in some places where it can get you killed to death. You know? Anyway, yeah. So yeah, the diversity statement on page 2 of the Player's Handbook, which was written from memory on June the 2nd, 1978. That is right there, 100% in Rosetta Stone. Okay, all right, no problem. So now we're gonna keep on going. Thrift. Oh, energy. Yeah, man. Uh, energy drinks. Oh, I should go get myself some Monster. Ooh, lazy. Haha. Another negative characteristic. It's a song by Deep Purple. You know, Tim Kask, he's really into Deep Purple. Oh, fuck, 15 minutes? I wanted to go on for a lot longer because this is getting fun. So one thing about Rosetta Stone is that making up characters is fun. Or it should be, you know. And somewhere I will have all of this written down. In the meantime, it's just like, oh, just do the best you can. So lazy, okay. She just stays in bed. She don't want no money and she don't want no bread. Uh-huh. What that will result in, I'm going to say, a penalty of -2 to her hit points. Yep. And a experience point penalty of, let's say, -10. Okay. So definitely, you want to get rid of this characteristic. Look on the bright side. At least it's not slothful. All right. So onwards to the next one. Thrift. Okay. 7. Spendthrift. Now I would have to look that word up. The problem is if I switch applications on the computer that you can't see. Actually, you can just see the edge of it right here. This computer, okay, the online computer. If I switch applications, sometimes it ends the video. Okay, so I'll look it up later. I'm assuming that spendthrift is, well, your character likes to go to thrift stores. I don't know. Yeah, here you get a free value village coupon. Spendthrift. Let me see. Maybe increase the MLE, the monthly living expenses, by 10%. Okay. So spendthrift. And I might be totally off base here with the meaning of that word. Just a guess. And then we'll say plus 10% to the MLE. So what we're looking at here is a character with a lot of negative characteristics. However, at the same time, a character that is very playable too, as well. The whole pathological liar thing might annoy the fuck out of some people for a while. Hey, it's level 0. You start at level 0. It's supposed to be difficult, yeah. And then morals, okay. I have scored a 9, amoral, okay. So what does that mean? I have no idea when it comes to alignment, you know. Maybe, I don't know, I'm guessing now, maybe 2 steps or a step towards neutrality, okay? So nothing changes on the law chaos axis. Maybe -1 good point, okay? Right, -1 good point. And these notes, you know, that I'm doing right here, there's got to be a simpler way to do this, but we'll get there later, all right? So in the DMG morals, it says morals refer to the sexual tendencies of the NPC, although this trait rating can be used with regard to some ethical questions, okay? So that's done, and we're going to move on to the next. All right, piety or piety. I'm trying to remember the Dragon Magazine issue, and it's somewhere in the second edition, 2.5 era. There's a whole entire article about piety. And 3, pious. Okay, this is going to give this character some benefits. Pious. And again, the exact nature of those benefits, we'll have to wait because if I switch applications, it can end the video. Then interests, all right. Um, usually this is like a free non-weapon proficiency kind of thing. So, um, 5, horticulture. Okay. Get yourself a copy of Dragon Magazine number 87. Okay. Horticulture. All right. And you should have access to Appendix J of the DMG. Okay. So that's done. And with 9 minutes to go, oh man. We're going to run down the list, the chapter structure in the player's handbook, okay? And here we go. So abilities, done. Race, done. We need to do height and weight. Huh? Hold on a second. So we're going to keep going. Females. All right, so don't worry about the footnotes here. Percentile dice. She is 15, a little bit short, 5'6". Okay, becomes 5'5", 5'5", and then weight 28, average 130. Okay. Languages. All right. So that's on page 102. Scrolling down a little bit. And here you can get some pretty weird languages. So I am going to hack that URL, go to intelligence, two-players handbook, intelligence, and then hashtag 14. That'll take us directly to the line for 14 intelligence. One more. No. This indicates 4 bonus languages, and now I'm thinking about this. Disregard that for now. Your character begins with common and neutral and neutral evil. Okay. So I'm going to just do big L here. Common, okay. You started off as neutral evil, all right. Then transition to neutral, all right. And then from there, you went to neutral good. Now, the alignment languages, a lot of people just want to drop them outright out of the game. You could do that, but it opens up more possibilities for role playing, I guess you could say. All right. So now you can talk to monsters, as long as they're neutral evil, neutral or neutral good. Something like that. Time check. This is not going over now, so let me see. We need to pick a deity for this character, all right? So, let me see, .wog. Well, yeah, what did I just say? .wog, yeah. Okay, so WG0, DOT, WOG, DT is for the world of Greyhawk, and I'm going to go directly to the neutral good. I see the 10 table, and then 1 Pelor. Oh, wow. God of sun, strength, light, and healing. Okay, so first thing, we're going to write down cleric, 0 of Pelor. Pelor. As a god of strength. Okay, hold on. Okay, sun, you love the sun. Strength, let's give this character +1 strength. That makes perfect sense. Strength goes up to 14. And then light and healing, all right? So it might say something different in the Greyhawk Canon, but we can say that this character can cast light once per day, okay? Light And that's like a bonus spell, basically, or spell-like ability, maybe. One per day. And this character has proficiency in healing, the healing skill. Okay, one moment, please. Healing. However, if the healer class is used, then I'm thinking, maybe give this character the ability of a level 1 healer. That's alright, but it's kind of like, oh, yeah. The abilities of a level 1 healer, basically. Which kind of sucks, but if everyone has healing proficiency, then it really bogs things down, you know? So, abilities of a level 1 healer for now. Checking the time, I have exactly 4 minutes. So, next step, skills, okay? For each point of intelligence above 10, you get 1 skill, all right? And then after that, when you level up, you get 1 skill per level. You don't have to choose the skills right away, so we'll just open up 4 slots, I guess you could say. And alignment languages, you know what will be the simpler way to do things is to say that you have to use a skill point for an alignment language. All right, so I'm just going to make a change here. 1, 2, and 3. And then, one more, please. Here is where I want to put them. Okay, good. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4 skills are going to be left open, and you can't get a skill in game. That's the way I do it. You know, if you want a skill, then it's just the situation where the player spontaneously, now I know I've got this skill or that skill, whatever's needed for the current predicament. I'll get back to you on that, but this character has 4 skills to start off with, and then going onwards, I'm not going to be able to get this done in 1 hour, but I'm going to keep on keeping on. No equipment at all, with maybe the exception of some special items. Okay, and I'm thinking to myself, hold on a second. Yeah, I think it should be all right. You know, we'll give this character a chance. Okay, no dagger +1. No random potion. Oh, a random potion. Cool. All right. So instead of no equipment, almost no equipment, and then to the dungeon master's guide. Okay. Section on magic items, potions. I think on table 3A. Evidently they are. Percentile roll and 22. Indicating that I roll on table 3A, okay, not 3B. 25. Oh, a potion of extra healing, that's nice. Okay, so this character has a spell book and a potion of extra healing. And that's it that I can go into detail about. And there you go. There is 30 seconds left, so we never finished this, and it's great, playtest on my end. And I'll be able to reuse this and finish this later. Okay, so this video, maybe you should go to the archives. I don't think it's really high up on the quality control scale of things. All right, so now I am going to sign out. I have to say I had a lot of fun doing that. More fun than say rolling a character up for first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. Okay. All right. See you guys later. Bye for now.